Let's see what surprises we have in store today. Alright, first up we have the Seraphim Veil with Vacant Heart out of Melbourne, Australia. Love this cover. Very cool looking. A kind of a ambient intro here. Okay, here we go. Into the Void, Never to Return in the description. Okay. Little Deathspell Omega, but more death metal. Kind of technical, blackened death metal. Lots of atmosphere too. The atmospheric death metal. Man, sounds great. Banger. I'm speechless. It's a great one to start with. Ooh, I love those little drum fills too. This little guitar solo here, kind of Fallujah-y. Yeah, good mix of a lot of elements here. Like I'm hearing like the Faceless, Fallujah, but Deathspell Omega, Gorguts. Very cool. Raunchy, a little proggy maybe. Yeah, this sounds great. Killer album to kick off with. Australia's got some banger bands, you know. And all the worst ones get the credit, I feel like. You know who I'm talking about. They're okay. Yeah, no, just 3 songs, but all on the lengthier side. I feel like you're getting your money's worth. $5 Australian, that's only $3.31 US, depending on where you are. No reason not to buy this. I feel like that's a reasonable price. Yeah, I love everything about this. I have 0 feedback. Like, keep doing this. Even the album work is fantastic. Just get that marketing train going. See if you can get hooked up with a good PR too, if you can pay for it. See if you can get connected also with like folks at the Ardent Era or something like that. But yeah, that's great. The Seraphim Veil, Vacant Earth. Next we have Decemberance with Implosions out of Athens, Greece. Another 3-songer here. Exploring the deepest aspects of inner hell since 1997. Okay. Going for a much more old school kind of raw sound than that last band. Got a lot of doom in the tags too. Got some strings here, always a fan of that. Or some was that wasn't strings. That's it's like an oboe or clarinet or something, I'll say. Yeah, here comes the doom, the funeral doom. Interesting cover. Slow and low. Okay, here's the strings. Some acoustic. Long songs, too. 24 minutes just for this one. I am a sucker for putting strings in basically any kind of metal. Cool bass line here, too. Yeah, seems like this will take you on a little journey. We got some instrumental, some piano, more lovely strings. And then we got another, even lengthier, final track. I feel like the production could be a little bit better. I mean, it's got a little bit of that kind of like late 90s sort of nostalgia to it. But I feel like it could be touched up a little bit more. Yeah, this seems like something my Doom fans out there are going to enjoy. You like things slow and miserable, but with a little bit of beauty thrown in for good measure. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, like music box Cool stuff. Decemberance, Implosions. Alright, we have Ghosthouse with Grin out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Something completely different here. A little electronic, some blast beats. We got hyperpop, metalcore, cybergrind in the tags. Oh, very okay. This is my MySpace core shit right here. I know a bunch of people just skipped ahead, and you guys hate fun. I'm sorry. I love stuff like this just as much as I love my black and death metal. Yeah, mix of like screamo, mathcore, post-hardcore. This was all stuff that I was deep into in the 2000s. Love the mix of melodic and chaotic. This is such a MySpace era cover too. Oh my god, even a little auto-tune on there. Yeah, definitely not for everyone, but I don't know, like, it's nice to see bands like See You Space Cowboy kind of take it off right now. I love this stuff. I think it's great. That's a fun guitar riff too. That's so... this just takes me back to my high school years. Got some piano in there. Like, y'all can call this corny or whatever you want, but like, there's a lot of thought that goes into these compositions. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of songwriting and attention to detail. I'm not the biggest fan of auto-tune, but when used right, it can be effective. So yeah, I dig this. I know there's a subsect of my audience who loves this stuff, and so definitely pick this up if you're one of them. To the rest of you, open your minds and your hearts and stop being a baby. That is Ghosthouse with Grin. Alright, we have Unredeemer with Word Became Flesh, or Become Flesh, out of Finland. Helsinki, to be exact. Little corny album cover, I would say. Music sounds good, though. Fiery Croatian spirits. Let's chug to this. What we got here? Death metal, groove metal, thrash metal. Cool guitar riff here. It's got me bobbing my head. Very infectious. That seems fun. Try another one here. See if they have other tricks up their sleeve. Production's a little loudness warsy. That sounds solid. Getting a little bit of like Lamb of God vibes. But I can also hear that Scandinavian twist on it. I like the riffing. Got some cool elements in here. Oh no, my connection. That was a fun little opener there. Yeah, that's very Lamb of God. But with more of like a kind of earlier Amon Amarth kind of vocal delivery. Some soloing. Yeah, sounds pretty rad. Kind of just groove metal-y stuff, which I dig. Ooh, nice riffage there. Yeah, also another very Lamb of God sounding riff. I'm digging it. It kind of harkens back to the older Lamb of God stuff too that I love a lot more than the newer stuff. Yeah, sounds cool. Cool little break there too. That's Unredeemer with World Become Flesh. Alright, we have Netherless with Offline. Oh, I'm getting electronic again. Out of Poland. Love the color scheme here. Okay, we're going more metalcore again. Yeah, fun little kind of industrialized, electronic-y, djenty metalcore. Kind of a little periphery riff in there. Yeah, this sounds pretty rad. Got me banging my head. This is right up my alley. I'm gonna try some other stuff here. Good energy to it. Now, a lot of this genty metalcore, it just sounds so generic, but this has some really nice vitality to it. A little bit of that old Architects energy in there too. Maybe a little textures. And I like that they're doing the electronic thing, but it doesn't feel corny like it does in a lot of cases, I feel like. Good mix of catchy melodic elements with the heavier stuff. This is really cool. I'm digging this. Interested in this little thing in the top left here. Seems like some decent dynamics too. This is what we need. This is what we need in the metalcore space right now. Not all this other stuff fogging up. Like, these riffs admittedly are pretty familiar, but I feel like they're putting it together really well. I'm gonna want to add these guys to potentially cover again in the future. So yeah, sounds great. Netherless, Offline. Next, an album from a longtime supporter I was supposed to cover last month, but it dropped off of my radar, unfortunately. So we have World Suspension with Alpha, project out of Japan. The creator here, PTB, also has a YouTube channel you can check out. A little acoustic intro here. Cool cover. Atmospheric kind of style. Getting like weird Incubus vibes in a strange way. The drumming also reminds me of the bonus track on Deftones' White Pony. I'm forgetting the name of it now. It's like acoustic with drumming like this too. Bringing in the heavy vocals. Now this whole thing does have this kind of like that era of like Deftones, Incubus, that sort of alternative metal vibe. Those were good times. I like the vocal layering. I think the vocal performances are sometimes a little wobbly, so we'll work on tightening that up. I think the guitar production could be a little bit cleaner too. Production all around could be... I could see a version of this that sounds even tighter. I like the little backing effects though. Pretty interesting. I don't get a lot of projects that have this particular sound too. Like it's a hard sound to capture. I don't know exactly why, but there's just something about that kind of era where stuff like Make Yourself was like, that was what was on the radio. Like, I just don't hear a lot of that sound anymore. So it's kind of refreshing. Yeah, I like this. I think touch up the production. Keep working on the vocals, tightening those up a little bit. And then we've got like an instrumental version here too. Yeah, just a little sample, but you can check out World Suspension's various stuff. But yeah, this is Alpha. Very cool. Alright, another single we have Avhath with Return to Sender out of Indonesia. It's like a trio here. 5-piece hardcore metal unit from Jakarta. Kind of that sort of noisy LLNN vibe. Like the album cover, simple but effective, eerie. But yeah, that kind of like sludgy style. Good groove to it. Ooh, picking up on the drums here. Yeah, if you like stuff like LLNN, this seems like this is going to be the pick for you. Yeah, similar dynamics too. Really liking those drums. Also reminds me a bit of Alaskan, which I recently covered at the new project from members of Alaskan, They Grieve. There we got some ambient elements here. Yeah, this is another one of those tracks that seems like it takes you on a journey here. I feel a lot of work put into this. I think the production's really solid. Like, it's appropriate for what it is. It's got a little bit of edge to it. It's got that kind of reverb, cavernous feel to it. But everything comes through well. This little build to the end here, too. Yeah, just giving you all a little taste so that hopefully you go check these out on your own. But again, that is Avhath with Return to Sender. Alright, we have Human Targets with their self-titled EP. Lovely titles here. Project out of Finland, but much more of a Floridian kind of vibe here. Gotta wonder if the same thing that creates the Florida Man meme also creates this style of music. Yeah, very brutal, very raw, noisy. Appropriate for what it is, though, I'd say. It's not, like, overly so. Still feel like everything's getting captured. Ooh, there's a nice little bass moment there. I like that. To kill a beast. Definitely for those who want the more brutal, aggressive stuff. I'm a little bit over it. Not this band, but this style. It takes a lot to kind of like pull me into stuff like this now. Ooh, I like this bass rumble on the intro here. Okay. A little funky groove there. I like that. More stuff like that. Little flavor touches make it more interesting to me. Yeah, what can I say though that I haven't said a million times about bands like this? Like, if you just want something gnarly and gross and offensive, this is the stuff for you. My feedback would be like, how do you stand out, you know? On something that's been done a million times before. Like, it sounds good. You're hitting your target. It's just a matter of... I need that it element that makes it stand out. Yeah, cool stuff, though. Human Target with their self-titled EP. We have Imperial Circus Dead Decadence. That's a mouthful. With this. With the anime weeaboo cover. Ooh. I think this was you know what I'm realizing? This was a commenter request. They said, good melodic death metal out of Japan. And I'm already hearing it. Sounds very fun. Liking the guitar work. Got that very triumphant kind of baby metal kind of vibe, but more traditional vocals. Vocals a little bit more like Psy in their more kind of dramatic era. I feel like I'm listening to like a melodic death metal anime soundtrack. Yeah, I don't think they did me wrong here, y'all. Like, this is... Ooh. That's a great opener right there. It's very like Mors Principium-esque. Serenity and Murder for another Japanese band. Very dense. Good variety in vocals too. This one's more like brutal vocals. And just a whirlwind of guitar. I'm impressed. Yeah, good request. I'll have to check this out in more depth. But that sounds really fun. Imperial Circus Dead Decadence. Illuminated Void with Veriditas. Out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Which I have family from there. Used to visit there frequently too. When I still lived in the Midwest. Cool cover, very cool. Reminds me a little bit of like Hellblade imagery. When's that sequel gonna come out? I thought it was supposed to come out like forever ago. Just like post-metal-y, ambient black gaze, doom death, dark ambient, lots of different tags here. Another one with very layered production too. We got some organ here. Some kind of like church style vocals almost. Jazzy guitar solo. So it's always cool when I find a band where you just skip a couple seconds forward in the song and it's like something completely different. And we're sampling this at the time. There's only 2 tracks, but by the time this video goes up, the full album should be available. I mean, this track alone is 16 and a half minutes. Or, oh no, this is the shorter one. Let's check out the longer one. The Maze of Sleep. 16 and a half minutes. That was a lot in just like a 6.5 minute song. I could see this being another one to add to my Doom for people who don't like doom metal video that I did. Which I'm really glad that was a big hit. Check it out if you haven't. So many videos on the channel here. If you're enjoying this too, hit the like button, comment what you're enjoying. It helps me in the algorithm. And I do these every month in addition to the weekly videos. So feel free to subscribe if you're new here. Yeah, lots of dynamics going on here. This sounds really cool. Lots of Journey-like tracks today. Not like Journey the band. Not Don't Stop Believin'. Like, they're taking you on an odyssey. Yeah, this sounds great. Be interested to explore that more in detail. But yeah, that is Illuminated Void with Veriditas. Then we have Bitchsectomy. Switching gears completely again. Gotta love that. Born Deranged, the Mind of a Serial Killer. Out of Belgium. Yeah, more raunchy, gory death metal. We're gonna have Slam in the yeah, Slam. Kind of early aborted vibes too. Production's pretty strong. Like, I get a lot of Slam bands that kind of sound like garbage, to be frank, but this sounds pretty good. Here's the band. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely person in the middle. Yeah, again, what can I say? Like, I never know what to say about these bands. It's like they're fun, and they're gnarly, and they're gross, and they're gurgly. Gotta love that sound of that blast beat, too. Really raw, ugly, kind of wet cardboard sound. It just makes me laugh. Not in a bad way. Like, that's good. I like anything that makes me laugh, including music. But again, same feedback I gave that other band. Like, how do you stand out in this just bloated mess of bands that all sound exactly the same? Like, what's your shtick? What's your gimmick even? What makes you musically stand out? That would be my feedback to you. I think everything else sounds just right for what you're going for here. And I also really appreciate that you went with the green on black color scheme here. Yeah. Gnarly. Bitchsectomy. Born Deranged, the Mind of a Serial Killer. Alright, we have Viva Sepulture. I don't know if I got that right. With Ouroboros of Salt Lake City, Utah. Pretty close to me. Another interesting cover. And an interesting sound. Is this like industrial? Yeah, industrial metal, electronic. Industrial rock. Different. Trying to like get my bearings with this. It's very unlike anything else. I don't know what to compare it to. Like maybe a little touch of Marilyn Manson in there. Yeah, I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. I wouldn't compare it to something like Ministry or Skinny Puppy. Definitely not like Fear Factory or anything like that. Okay, this feels a little bit more Marilyn Manson too, with his slower stuff. Hey, there's a gap to be filled there right now too, because not a lot of love for Manson these days. Okay, good dynamics. Well, infectious guitar riff there too. What else we got here? Little EDM going on. Get me dancing. Okay, this does actually feel a little Skinny Puppy-ish for this one. A little Inquisition. Some of these clean vocals, they're a little hit and miss for me. But I'm always down, like I've always said, there's just not enough industrial metal in the world right now. I could use a whole lot more of it, of quality. So, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. So, it's hard to get a gauge on 10 songs in a short amount of time, but I love me some industrial, so yeah, keep at it. And in the comments again, what else would you like to see better or different on here to make it even stronger? But I like how unique it is. I'm even getting a little like Ogre side project vibes too. But yeah, that is Viva Sepulture with Ouroboros. Alright, Feeling Worthless with CDVR. Another weird one. Fundada a mediados de agosto del 2020 como un proyecto de DSBM. So, depressive, bad word, black metal. The word that YouTube doesn't really like. Out of Mexico. Yeah, definitely getting that misery vibe. Misery music. And I've said too, this is another genre that I'm not particularly keen on. I like music that gets me pumped, gets me hyped. Sometimes I like more downer, nihilistic stuff too, but I don't know, this genre takes it a little bit too far for me. But again, plenty of people in the audience that enjoy this stuff. I think the production feels a little overbearing and jarring. I don't know if that's by design. Sometimes it is. But I don't know, I feel like that could be evened out a little bit more. Yeah, it's always hard for me to give feedback on something like this, but that's why I like this segment, because I get to just throw it to you all and you can say what you think and check it out for yourselves. What I like may not be what you like and vice versa. Yeah, I think as far as like as much objective feedback I can give, I do think the production could be not necessarily like it needs to be raw, like that goes without saying, but maybe play with the levels and volume of certain elements. But yeah, that is Feeling Worthless with CDVR. And we have Dancing Sun with Heart Tales, getting a little more colorful again here. It's a very pretty, kind of Mastodon-looking album cover. It's out of Austria, metal prog, storytelling, and windsurfing. Okay, there's the board right in the truck there. It's interesting. Is this going to be instrumental? Oh wow, lots of information here. Carcass in the tags, experimental, garage, krautrock, windsurfing. I can kind of feel that, like, windsurfing. Speaking of music that gets you hyped, like, this does make me want to, like, get out on the water. Why not? Liking this guitar work. Vocals, if I'm being perfectly honest, they sound a little strained. Is that the best word? I think I could loosen them up a little bit. Like they're going for this raspy thing, but it's like taken away from the notes. Like I think a more just straight up clean performance would work better here. Because I really like the guitar work. The fifth element. Or the 5-point element. Yeah, the vocals, again, y'all let me know in the comments, maybe you really like that style. It just feels like we're straining too much. I'm trying to picture this with a looser... Maybe like the guy from Textures singing on this or something like that. Everything else I really like though. So, I mean, that's my main piece of feedback. I think musically there's a lot of good stuff happening here. Like the layers, like the atmosphere, mix sounds pretty good. Good variety, I feel like lots of earworms here to keep each song feeling distinct. Yeah, just upgrade these vocals. Loosen it up a little bit. Try out some different styles. And get some feedback from people on different approaches. But yeah, musically, really fun. Dancing Sun, Heart Tales. Alright, we have Lumen Add Mortum with Upon the Edge of Darkness. Out of Australia, again, Adelaide. Kinda cool cover. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there, though. Big atmosphere again. Anthemic black metal. In the description, atmospheric black metal in the tags, a little doom metal, melodic black metal. Yo, we gave our dog a bath last night, and he smells worse today. I don't know what he did in his bed last night, but he just smells like sewage in this office right now. He needs another bath now. Funny thing is, he had not had a bath in a while. He smelled way better yesterday. Anyways, digging this. Big build up here. Kind of like taking its time to really like build up. I do like it kind of matches the vibe of the artwork. It's all like misty and kind of shadowed. Mysterious. A very dissection-y riff here. That's a banger. Little Watain, too. Let's see that. Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of great black metal that's really impressed me so far this year, but then again, it's just like another genre that I have my favorites in, and if you don't like top those, then I kind of overlook it. But this sounds pretty good. So what this segment's all about, getting the word out on some good overlooked projects that could really use the word of mouth. Like that. That's a cool riff. That's very like, that's sort of Emperor sounding. Digging it. Yeah, good mix of kind of old and new. And the sound on this one. Great atmosphere, mix sounds awesome. Levels are perfect, like don't change anything with that. I think all these guys need is you. They need your help. Share and spread the word. Yeah, that is Lumen Add Mortum with Upon the Edge of Darkness. Alright, we have Ardent Nova. Stop me if I've covered this before. No, I don't think we have. This looks so familiar, though. Phoenix, Arizona. It hasn't fully released yet though, so I don't know. Production's a little scratchy, like it's a little like loud where it almost like feels like it's peaking. But I like the like kind of heavy metal, classic heavy metal style riffs. So out of Phoenix, Arizona, what's in the tags? Black metal, death metal, heavy metal, power metal, Viking metal. I can hear all that. Yeah, good riffs. Yeah, that kind of like heavy metal tinged melodic death metal. I love that really like powerful riffing. It just like makes you want to get on a horse and ride into battle. A little thunder crack. A little early Amon Amarth in there again too. Getting my foot tapping. Ooh, yeah, okay. Sold. That was it. That's all it takes. That's how easy I am. I'm easy to please if you know the little tricks. D-beat, little gang vocal moments, like that shit gets me every time. I'm an easy man to please if you just know the tricks of Flight of Icarus. Great riff here too. Little neoclassical vibe to it. Yeah, this sounds super fun. Too bad March is just such a packed month. Like, there's a lot to cover in here because there was too much for the best of the month list. Like, in any other month, I could probably see this in the best of the month list. But there's just so much. March is insane, you know? Totally insane. But this sounds great. I'll have to dig into this more. Thank you to the band for giving me a copy of it for Bandcamp. Love it. But yeah, I think just make the production a little cleaner, I guess. Like, don't take the edge off of it, but it's like a little too loud. Not to incite the Back to the Future moment. Yeah, other than that, sounds great. So that's Ardent Nova with Ardent Nova. We have Black Helium with out of London. Oh, hopefully I get through these before I lose my voice. I don't usually do this many in a single sitting, but we had a lot. Again, March, packed. So much stuff. Black Helium are a three-piece psychedelic rock band. Never afraid to stray from the beaten path. Definitely capturing their vibe with this artwork. I could see fans of things like Monolord also enjoying this. All fuzzed out. Again, kudos to... I don't know if these bands have been paying attention to previous feedback I've given bands about their color scheme on Bandcamp and how that can be another selling point. You nailed it. You nailed it with the green, the pink. You pulled all the colors from the album cover together. That's what you want. Looks excellent. Love it. Good little trick. People like things that are aesthetically pleasing and make sense. That sounds fun. I'm not a big psychedelic rock guy, but I love my like classics. I'm a big Hendrix fan. I've got Are You Experienced on the wall. You can't see it, but it's right over there, the vinyl. Yeah, that sounds fun. All around sounds great too. Mix sounds awesome. Vocals sound great. Great. Just make you want to dance a little bit. Good riffs. Got nothing for you. Another band that's just like put this in the right ears of the right people. So y'all, it's on you. You few people who watch this segment, because it's the least popular segment, unfortunately, on the channel, but I love doing it. So it's really up to you. 1,500 or so people that tend to watch this one. Don't just watch, don't just buy. Tell other people about these bands. Tell people which one was your favorite. Find people who like the same type of music. Share them in Facebook groups, on Reddit, all that stuff. Help these bands out. That's what this segment's all about. Yeah, sounds great. Black Helium with And we have Thumos with Symposium, who I might have covered before, but I could not find them when I was digging back, and I might have just accidentally overlooked them. It just fully released last month, and it was not in the February roundup, so I'm not sure that I did. So anyways, they don't have their location on here. It's in the tags. They might be Greek. I don't know that for sure. There's a lot of info here. Doom metal, post metal in the tags. Can't find, yeah, doom metal, post metal. Yeah, I can't find a for sure location. There's no, it might not be Greek because there's a New Zealand review too, UK. Yeah, I don't know. Musically sounds really cool. I don't know if this is fully instrumental, but it's one of those instrumental bands where I feel like I'm getting a lot of personality, where the instruments do plenty of talking, where I don't really need vocals anyways. Big dramatic part here. Yeah, you could probably clean up the production here. I think a more modern production on this element would sound better. I'm thinking of bands like Russian Circles, Explosions in the Sky, even the Animals as Leaders to an extent. Like, what are they doing with their production that you could learn from? But musically, this sounds really cool. I will shout out to, there's this great local band in Chicago with buddies of mine called An Aesthetic and Aesthetic. They're not a thing anymore, but you can find their stuff on Bandcamp. Reminds me a little bit of that too. Little piano here. Yeah, very dramatic. Yeah, lots of good stuff going on here. Sometimes you don't need vocals. You really don't. Like, it's harder to get traction as an instrumental band, but again, you see bands like Animals as Leaders, and it's harder, but you can do it. You just need the right group of people behind you, generally. So that would be the group I would market this to. Obviously, this is a little bit more leaning on the post-metal elements, but I like what I'm hearing. Sounds very cool. I feel like I'm getting a picture in my head, like very conceptual sounding music that doesn't need words to get its point across. So yeah, that is Thumos with Symposium. Alright, next up we have Fuzz Voyage with Heavy Compass Demo. I can just look at this cover art and already tell what it's going to sound like. Out of Washington, D.C. Dat Big Fuzz. Now, these guys are instrumental, is my understanding. Which, again, kind of intrigues me. Like, on the one hand, I can totally get it, because if you're just trying to, like, space out and have sort of an acid trip, that's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, I almost feel like this style of music kind of needs vocals. But I don't know, y'all let me know down in the comments. What do you think about that? Let's just give a little sampling here. I mean, they are successfully conjuring this kind of, like, drug trip kind of vibe. Full package. I would say one little aesthetic change to your Bandcamp page. Change the text color to, like, pink or purple, or maybe the green here. Something to just add to the overall LSD kind of vibe of this page. Yeah, it seems pretty chill. Not exactly my thing, but production's solid, especially for a demo. Vibes nailed, good atmosphere. Very kind of 70s feeling, which is definitely what you want to go for with this. So yeah, chill stuff. Fuzz Voyage, Heavy Compass Demo. Alright, then we have When at Night with Counterfeit Highs. It's a little 2-track single here. It's out of Germany. I like this cover. Cool aesthetic. Reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus. What a great game. Kind of melodic death metal. Cool atmosphere, interesting approach to the vocals. I don't even know how to describe kind of what the vibe is of these vocals. Got some dynamics here. This little head bob section there. Yeah, is there like an effect on these vocals? Like they have this weird kind of different quality to them. It's intriguing. Seems promising. Y'all know me. I'm always down for a bit more melodic death metal. So that's one track. And then we got the actual single, it seems. Solid riff. Little Amon Amarth vibe on this one. But again, with this very different vocal style, I can't decide if I like what they've done with these vocals or not. I think a little variation would be good. Make things a little bit more interesting. Cool riffs there too. Kind of In Flames, Dark Tranquility stuff there. Yeah, I dig it. I'm on the fence about the one thing is the vocals. I'm on the fence about how they sound in the mix. On the one hand, I appreciate that they're a little unique, but it's just a question mark for me. Yeah, sounds really rad. Would look forward to hearing more from this project in the future. When at Night, Counterfeit Heights. Or Counterfeit Highs. Alright, we have Grievings with The Endless. Out of Louisiana, Lafayette. I think just a single here. This might have been one of those cases too where somebody sends me a video. I don't really cover videos. I'd love to have a segment where I could cover underground videos, but I've tried in the past. It just did not take. As it stands, this segment is kind of just for the true fans in the audience out there. It seems like just pretty straightforward kind of metallic hardcore. Oh, I think these guys also mentioned that they played or are going to play a show with Capra too. I think that might be how we got in touch. They're out of that same area. I like it. Pretty gnarly. I like the kind of like live recorded quality of it too, with the little imperfections and everything. Everything's a little too pristine now, and especially for something like this. I kind of like the charm of if a drum hit gets missed here and there, or a note gets like messed up on the guitar, like, I don't know, that's rock and roll. Gotta represent that CKY shirt. Hell yeah. Yeah, sounds up my alley. Again, another one I'd be interested to hear more from these guys, and I can totally see them playing side by side with Capra, because Capra is also pretty wicked. Little different vocal style, but yeah, that is Grievings with The Endless. Alright, we've got Paenil Era, if I'm saying that correctly, with CDVR. It's out of Romania. Another shorter EP here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. These are longer tracks, so really more of a full length. Black metal formed in 2012. Previously Signatura Rerun. Solid atmosphere. Look how they're using these little kind of backing tones. Lots of layers to the sound here. Very kind of sorrowful vibe. Lots of atmosphere, but also like really paying attention to texturing, which I always am thankful for. I've said many times, I think too many atmospheric black metal bands, for them that just means strumming the same progression for like 7 minutes and calling it atmospheric. Like, to me, this is much more interesting. Listen to those drums. Just so much texturing there. Just like going through some changes. There's kind of a progressive element to the songwriting. Yeah, really liking those drums. Ooh. Ooh, going over the cliff. Hell yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty rad. Check out another track here. Tower. Yeah, the intro here, kind of post-black vibes too. Here are a lot of those post-metal and even shoegazy kind of elements. There was a band I listened to on Bandcamp, really obscure project, way back in like 2014-ish. In fact, this kind of reminds me of, I have since forgotten their name, but I'll bet it's, if you scrolled all the way to like the bottom of my Bandcamp page, I'll bet we could find it. I think it's more of like a post-metal project too. Yeah, this sounds pretty like powerful. Very emotional, driven stuff, very thoughtful songwriting. I like the mix of styles. Production's pretty solid. I'm sure there could be advances in that area, but for the most part I feel like I'm picking up on everything. Liking these little ups and downs. Ooh, some like xylophone or one of them instruments with the mallets. Nice little groovy hook there. Yeah, that sounds great. Very cool. Definitely want people to check this out. But yeah, that is Paenil Era with CDVR. Alright, we have Metal Charm with Kaleidoscopic. That's a weird word to say. It's out of Turkey. Starting with very basic feedback here. Change your Bandcamp aesthetic to black background and some other color text. White background is for plebs. Musically, what do we got going on here? Just this metal music band. Kind of groove metal vibes right now. Okay, thrash, death metal in the tags. Kind of an interesting cover. Kind of blackened vocals too. I do like these little that little hook there. Kind of earworm. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting a little turn here. Reminds me a little bit of In Flames, kind of like soundtrack era vocals. A little iffy on those cleans. I don't know how I feel about that. Guitar solo here. This is a closing track. Let's check out the opener. Definitely some like 80s heavy metal influence on this too. Yeah, mostly I'd probably call this like a groove metal project with some harsher vocals. Something I could see opening for like a Lamb of God. Still feeling kind of foundational. The bass in the background sounds pretty good if you got headphones on. Feel like still has that kind of like we're just getting started kind of sound to it, which you got to start somewhere. But I think there's a lot to work with here. Yeah, I'd say iron out kind of like, what's my vocal style? How do I clean that up? I think the riffs are solid. I think there's a lot to build on there. There's some good kind of earwormy hooks in here. Production is okay. Like, again, you don't want something like this to be too cleaned up. But I think that guitar tone could be a little better. And then just focus on overall songwriting. How do you stand out? Yeah, no, it sounds interesting. Good place to start. Then that is Metal Charm with Kaleidoscopic. Alright, then we've got Windbrand with Absolutum. Also out of Germany. Leftist one-woman grind project from Germany. Okay, we're getting deep underground now. This is interesting. It's kind of like low-key grind. Where, like, it's sort of like chill, in a weird kind of way. Yeah, I don't know. Is this going to be another case where it's kind of like, I like it...
that they had yesterday.
Oh, we got a little news clip intro. If you're going for a different vibe, I think this is interesting. If you're going for, like, heavy, though, like, I feel like you gotta turn up the guitars and drums a bit and turn the vocals down a few notches. But it does give it this kind of, like, weird, sort of uncanny quality to it. I don't know. Also, the vocals just feel very, like, kind of like, they sound, don't take this as an insult, but if you want feedback, like, if you're submitting to me, hopefully it's with the understanding of some feedback. This riff is kind of cool. That drumming pattern's kind of fun, too. But the vocals just feel like, instead of feeling, like, violent and vile, they sound bored. Like, they're kind of like, ugh. It sounds like a troll, like, just waking up in the morning. And they're, like, going out to get their paper, and they're, like, hungover, and they're, like... That's what it sounds like to me. There's not enough presence to it. Especially if you're going for grind. Like, I need a little more oomph, a little more energy. And work on the mixing. But...
Paying the rent
yeah, I don't know. Stuff you can build on here, but that's my overall... initial thoughts on this one. So yeah, that is Windbrand or Wundbrand, maybe, since it's German, with Absolutum. And then we have Funeral Winds with Stigmata Mali. Very classic black metal aesthetic here. Lots of merch. This is out of Netherlands. Black metal, Dutch black metal, extreme metal. A very kind of classic second wave vibe. Kind of that warlike energy too. Black metal cult since 1991. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with this project, because this was also submitted to me by a PR earlier in the month, and then I think the project itself reached out again directly, which led to me deciding to cover it. Yeah, pretty cool. If you just want that, again, sort of classic 90s Scandinavian black metal sound. The raw. This feels like it could be a lost recording found from that time. So I think you're nailing all those checkboxes. Well put together. I mean, if that's what you're going for, you hit the target. Got me bobbing my head, too. Very aggressive, very warlike. Very aggressive. Yeah. And on some solid, raw black metal. That's Funeral Winds with Stigmata Mali. Alright, y'all, that's plenty for today. Thank you, as always, for making these videos what they are. You can also support me on Patreon, too, if you want to go that extra step. But also, just thank you for being here, part of the audience. Check out this playlist for plenty more of this particular series, and stick around for all sorts of other great stuff. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.